G'day, it's Heath here from pickinglessons.com. Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. Here on the guitar we're going to take a look at an arrangement in drop D that really focuses on the deeper tones or our lowest strings here on the guitar. In a moment we'll take a look at part A of this arrangement, but if you head over to pickinglessons.com you better get yourself a copy of the tab that we're working from. It has all your markings in there for your left hand and your right hand. You'll also find the second part of this lesson where we break down part B of the tune as well, so pickinglessons.com. Alright, let's start out with a slow playthrough of part A, and then we'll break it down and have a look at some of the techniques and exercises we can use to help us learn the tune. Part A, once through. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's part A for this arrangement. Now, there's a few things. Firstly, we're in cut time. We're in the key of D. We're in drop D tuning. So our sixth string is down to a low D there rather than the standard E. This arrangement also is more advanced as well. We've got some cross picking. We've got lots of articulation. We're working on the deeper tones on these lower strings. We're filling a lot of the space in the melody with some cross-picking and extra passing notes. So it's a more advanced arrangement, and it works nicely, as you heard in the preview, with the banjo, which is quite sparse in what it was playing in the melody. So we are filling a lot of the space in this particular arrangement. So the right hand is a lot busier. We'll work on some exercises right now to help that. So let's pick it up from the beginning here. So cut time, 2 half note beats per measure, 1. So when we speed it up, it's nice. It's a nice way of really feeling this. Rather than feeling every quarter note. So as we come in, 1, 2, slide. 1, 2. Into measure 1. Now let's break it down though, each of the measures, just feeling it in 4 beats for now while we're going slow. So first measure. We have a bit of cross picking here to start off. So we're cross picking over the open strings with a pull off, down, up, pull off, up, down. Really watching the picking there. It is marked in the tablature. We're following our eighth notes and following the pulse of the quarter notes there. Down, up, down, up, down. Watch your finger in your left hand. We're pretty much in position 2. Finger 1 is on fret 2, then each finger has its own fret beyond there, and that's pretty much all we're going to need actually. Measure 2, we have some more cross picking. Now here we've got a bit of a forward roll happening for the first 5 notes, then we're back into that 4th fret hammer on. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down with a hammer on. Moving into measure 3. So here we're moving up and down through from the F sharp to the D, back up to the F sharp, back to the F sharp there. So there's a bit of a focus on the F sharp there on fret 4. So fingering, finger 3, finger 1, finger 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Again out of position 2, so that makes sense for those fingers. Down, up, down, up for your right hand. Sit on each of these measures as you get to know them. Really work on each of these measures until you're feeling comfortable. Measure 2. Measure 3. Then you can start to piece these together. We'll do that in a moment. Let's look at measure 4 first. Again, a little bit more cross picking. Down, up with a pull off, up. Really just watch those syncopated pull offs on the offbeat and then picking the next note on the offbeat. Keep an eye on that in the tablature there. Make sure you're feeling that in your right hand. So first 4 measures just before we move on. Sounds really nice on these lower notes. It's a bit of fun to play actually. Okay, let's move on to measure 5. First triplet. There are a number of triplets throughout the arrangement. This is our first one here on beat 2. 8th note triplet, so we're fitting 3 notes in one beat, 3 8th notes in one beat. That's our triplet. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. So watch the timing. Now we're hammering on those notes as well, so you've got to be firm with the placement of each of those fingers. First finger, third finger. So if you're having trouble with that at all, break it down. It's a little tricky to get a loud hammer on as you slow down though, because you're losing the momentum, but start at a slower tempo and bring it up along with a bit of practice to getting the momentum of those fingers kind of landing one after the other. That's really how we're going to do it. And then include that open string on the 3rd beat as well, because that comes in straight away. There is no pause. So 2 and a 2 and a 3, 2 and a 3. So that's really important as well, watching that grouping, the triplets, but then move into beat 3. So measure 5. Measure 6. Another triplet. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and. This time hammering on string 6, same idea though. 1st and 3rd fingers, triplet. Syncopated hammer on, upstroke on the D. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and. Measure 7 now. Measure 7, we're almost at the repeat here before we go back and have another go at part A. Into measure 8. So we're over the A chord here. We're starting out with this power chord actually, the 1st finger and the open A string there. On the offbeat we have a dotted quarter note, so 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and for measure 7. Just watch the timing there, 1, 2 and 3, 4. Measure 8 for the repeat. Nice little scale run, that's pretty straightforward. Pull off, down, up, down to the slide, like our pickup note to get us back to start again. The second ending is different. We're going to take a look at that in the next lesson in part B, just to kick off part B. So basically here we do have to play A twice, and then the second half of the tune is part B into a part A again actually. So it's like A, A, B, A for the form. So take your time. There are some tricky parts to this. Cross picking, the hammer-ons, there's a slide in there too, the pull-offs. If you're comfortable with those techniques, this is a pretty comfortable arrangement to play, I think. If you're not as comfortable with the cross-picking and really working those hammer-ons and the triplets into your playing, you'll find it a little bit more challenging. I am suggesting this is a little bit more advanced, so give it a go, but bear in mind a bit of practice is probably needed if you're having a little trouble with some of those techniques. So break it down, as always, get to know each of the individual measures and kind of chunk it together. You might work on the 1st and 2nd bars for a little while, then work on the 3rd and 4th, and then try and put those together. Then work your way through to the 8 bars of the 1st repeat. Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. It's a lovely tune, and this works really nicely on the guitar on these lower tones, and it complements other instruments, as you heard there, the banjo, the clawhammer banjo in the preview of this lesson. So if you head to pickinglessons.com, you'll be able to get this tablature we've been working from, plus the next part of this lesson where we're going to break down part B, look at the second ending of part A and have a look at part B. You'll also find a play along and backing track, so once you do get comfortable with the melody, you can use those tracks to help you practice along. So pickinglessons.com, and I'll see you there.